he says, with his lungs popping out of his bottom. I don't mind telling you, I found this a little bit challenging. Well, I guess that makes me a geographical idiot, doesn't it? Stupid, stupid me. Where's the path? Good morning guys, and welcome to the Beery Hiker YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel, because I thought over the next 15 or 20 years, while I still have use of my knees, I'd share my exploits and my adventures hiking the Lake District fells and sampling some of the best beers and ales and pubs that Cumbria has to offer. And who knows, I might even go further than Cumbria, not far here from North Yorkshire and from Scotland. So join me as today we start where it all began for me 40 years ago in the Langdale Valley, where I came on holiday and fell in love with this place. Today I'm going to be walking the Langdale Pikes. It's going to take perhaps 4 to 5 hours. It's not a huge ascent, but it's going to be challenging, especially with my current level of fitness. The weather is set fair, so I'm really looking forward to it. So it's nice to have you on the channel for my first hike, my first adventure, and the very first video. So remember, like and subscribe, and let's get on with this walk. So in 1984, I would have been 9 years old. My best friend who lived next door at the time, him, his sister and his mum and dad, I came on holiday with them for 2 weeks in the Lake District. And we came here to Langdale Valley and we camped in Bays Brown Farm, which is at the start of the valley. And that year was a heat wave, so every day we woke up it was glorious sunshine. Not really like today, but it kind of definitely left a mark on me, and I've been coming back here as often as I can ever since. Now I'm lucky enough to live less than an hour away from here, so it's really on the doorstep. So the reason for this video being the first video on the YouTube channel is this is the place that really made me fall in love with the Lake District. Every day we get up and we do different walks. They had dogs, so we do flat walks or walk the fells, and it always ended in a pub. So you can see perhaps where that idea came from, because every hike we do on this channel, surprise surprise, will end in a pub. So the problem I already see is that on the camera I'm using, which is a GoPro, it really doesn't do the views that I'm seeing in real life any justice at all, which I think is all the reason you have to come to the Lake District yourself. I think if I had a different camera I could really capture the views and really the majesty of where I am at the moment, but I don't think it's really well captured on the GoPro. Nothing I can do about that until I get more subscribers I get ad revenue, and then I can afford better camera equipment. I mean, no pressure guys, but you know, if you want to like and share the hell out of this channel, completely up to you. Then you can see the views. But yeah, what I'm seeing now really doesn't reflect very well in the camera at all. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. So, a little bit more detail about today's hike, if you want it of course. If not, fast forward this bit to the bit where I fall on my arse, okay? We are going to start the ascent just behind the new Dungeon Ghyll Hotel, which you will see shortly as we get round this corner. I will face the camera forward and you can see it. We're going to go up to Stickle Tarn following what they call the tourist path, which is the one everybody does. And once we get to Stickle Tarn at the top, we're then going to ascend to Pavey Ark. Now we have two options. One is to climb Jack's Rake, which has a little bit of jeopardy attached because it is a scramble and it is a sheer drop. And although you're all screaming yes, do that one, I'm not going to do it for two reasons. One is I'm 50 years old, and the second reason is I'm 50 years old. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to sneak up on Pavey Ark from behind. It's a lot easier, less jeopardy involved, which I know doesn't make it a great YouTube video, but there you go. If I get more subscribers and I monetize the channel, I might do it. From there we're going to go into Thundercow Knot, which Wainwright described in his book as really quite boring actually. Again, I'm not quoting him directly there, but that's basically what he said. Not verbatim, but he wasn't impressed. But it is a Wainwright anyway. And I'm not here to bag Wainwrights. I'm not one of these people who you will see on reels who say, I parked the car and within 15 minutes I bagged 7 Wainwrights and then went and knitted myself some quinoa and went home to my straw house. No, none of that on this channel. For Thundercow Knot, we're going to go to Harrison Stickle, which is a little bit more lofty, about 730 metres. Then Pike of Stickle, and then Loft Crag as we descend. Not decided which way we're going to descend just yet, but I can guarantee that by 2 o'clock this afternoon it will be probably the fastest way of descending to the pub. More on the pub later, because it is a corker for the first pub visit on the channel. So I'll face the camera forward because you don't want to see me anymore, and we'll make our way to the true start of the ascent of the Pikes, and that's the new Dungeon Ghyll Hotel.
I learned something new.
So what amazes me about our national parks and our outdoor spaces is things like this. You know, this work on the paths is not done by elves in the middle of the night. It's done by volunteers mainly, and it comes from donations to the National Trust and other organisations. I find it incredible that the paths are kept so well. That allows people like me and everyone else to really enjoy the outdoors and do it safely, because essentially I'm walking a very, very well put together staircase. Although they could have made it less steep, perhaps. Just a bit of feedback for you there, guys. Less steep next time. Maybe a travelator. What do we think? Instead of steps? Just a thought. So I'm not even halfway up the ascent up to Stickle Tarn, and already the views open up. Fabulous. See, my head is leaking too. That is my lack of fitness. Okay, a bit further up now. Once again, the views are opening up. So this is about as technical as this part of the ascent gets. So I need to put a hand out whilst obviously holding the camera. So a little bit of jeopardy for you guys, I guess. And then back to the nicely manicured path. On it. Well, watch you don't lose that.
Exactly. It's heavier than me.
What is it, private pike? I didn't see you at camouflage training this morning. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Wow, nearly at the top. And you turn around and look at those views. Lingmore Fell in the foreground, and then over into Little Langdale. And the peaks in the cloud, I don't know what they are, I don't know what they're called, because my geography here isn't as good as it used to be. What a view, what a payoff. It's worth the sweat. It's worth a massively increased heart rate. And I'm just so unfit. Right, yet again, let's get to the top. So we can now just see the top of Pavey Ark, which is the first pike of the day, and you can just see people up there. You won't see them on this camera though. There's people already at the top. We are just coming up on Stickle Tarn, which we should see in a moment. And probably all you can hear on the camera is my lungs getting busted. I expect it to be quite busy up here, with it being a Saturday morning and it being one of the easiest ascents and less technically challenging, he says, with his lungs popping out of his bottom. You can just see the dam. Stickle Tarn is dammed. I feel quite damned as well, if I'm honest, but again, it's just a sign that I need to hit the gym and get fit, and then these videos will be a lot less breathy.
Each of them exposed, but you just call it.
And that's where we're going. So that just up the middle, you might struggle to see it on this camera, is Jack's rake. There's people doing it already. It's a proper scramble, it's quite narrow, full of jeopardy. So not today. I might come back and do a video just on Jack's rake, and it might be my last. I did it about 25 years ago, I think. I don't remember it being as scary as people say. Right, let's push on, because we're going to the top of Pavey Ark, and we're going round that way and up the back. Let's push on. When I started this channel, I was thinking about what can I talk about. Obviously I can point out how beautiful this place is, and I can show you views and talk about the scenery, the fells, Wainwright. Everyone talks about Wainwright, but sometimes life has a way of just filling in the gaps. And yesterday when I was driving to the campsite, I was driving through Ambleside and a van pulled out, so I ended up following this white VW camper van. It had a sticker on the back which just said "God bless Johnny Cash," and I thought, yeah, I like that. So anyway, I ended up following them all the way to the campsite where I'm staying. So we parked next to each other, we queued up to pay, and then we ended up parking next to each other on the field. camping next to each other, so he came out and we got talking. His name's Lee, and he's got a prosthetic leg, lower leg, and he was a 22.5-year Royal Marine. He did one tour of Afghanistan, one tour of Iraq, 2 tours of Afghanistan. I think I've got that right. And when he came back to the UK, he was on the M3 motorway and he came across a road traffic collision and he stopped to help, and he was hit by a car, and that's how he lost his leg. Now since then, to show absolute determination and resilience, the guy has rowed single-handed across the Atlantic, and he has the world record for doing so. So he holds a world record for rowing the Atlantic solo, and holds a world record for able-bodied people and disabled people. The guy is pretty incredible, and he's here in the lakes. He's going to a music festival, but before that he's doing some walking and some climbing, because he's climbing Kilimanjaro excuse me, in 2 months. So the guy is awesome. I'll put links to his page in the description. His name's Lee Spencer. Look him up. He's a nice guy, he's a humble guy, and again, sometimes life just has a way of filling the gaps, and it was quite serendipitous really meeting him. And the guy is yeah, the guy's a legend, a living legend. So look him up, Lee Spencer. He's quite a guy. So that's Pavey Ark, that's where we're going, and we're going to sneak round the back. There is a path. These guys are going up Jack's Rake, I think. We're going to go to the right. Got to get through this bog first. It's always wet up here. You can guarantee I'll end up with a wet foot or wet feet. I know you're all willing me to fall in, but it's not going to happen. Not with such a long way to go on this walk. Made it. That's where the path goes, up to the top. And we can see blue sky. Hello, blue sky. A view down to Windermere. So we're about near the top of Pavey Ark, which is 700 metres, and I think for each one of those 700 metres I've actually used a different expletive, because I don't mind telling you, I found this a little bit challenging, and that's what you get if you sit behind a desk. Met 3 lovely guys from Kentucky who are over here playing music in London, and they've come up here for a week to do the Langdales and Scarfell. Lovely guys, and you know what, when you meet people on the fells, it just makes walking that little bit easier, although it does make filming a bit more difficult because you don't want to put people on camera just in case they don't want to be filmed. So, but it's the people you meet it really is part of doing this. It's great. So I'm going to face the camera forward and show you what you can see from the top of Pavey Ark, and the sun is out. Bonus. So welcome guys to the top of Pavey Ark. I mean, look at that. This is just unbelievable, and I do mean unbelievable. That's Stickle Tarn. That's where we came up. And it feels like about 4 days ago, and actually that's the highest point, so I'm going to go up there. Highest points of Pavey Ark.
Alright, one more shot. Alright, good man, Jack.
Amazing.
Oh, you done?
Decided that although I can see Thuraka Knot, we're going to bypass it because it's really just a little bit of a hill, and we're going to go straight over to Ascent Stickle, which you can see behind me over there. The wind's getting up. It's down to about 10 degrees, which is okay as long as you keep walking. I've just stopped and had a sandwich in there. Got a little bit cold, so I'll top back on and get a bit of body heat back in. It's a bit boggy here, so I'll face the camera forward and you can see me get my feet wet, because you'll like that, won't you? You lot. Nearly. You see views out over the Langdale Valley down to Windermere, the north end of Windermere. You can see the light across the fells as the sun tries to poke through. It looks fantastic. But there's no sun up here. So let's push on. Let's get up. Up there. That's where we're going. You just see the path in the distance. It's the path here I need to see. It's not always obvious. There we go. Great thing is with the Langdale Pikes, the route I'm doing is once you've got to the top of Pavey Ark, that really is all the work done. Okay, we've got a slight climb up to Ascent Stickle, but it's not a problem. It's not that difficult, he says, busting his lungs. But it really is hard work over for the day, really. Although I have to say, sometimes I find going downhill as challenging as going uphill sometimes. But it's been worth it so far. I think I'm a good 9 out of 10. Just need the rain to keep away, I think, because it's threatening and my waterproofs are not the best. It's also a little bit cold now as well. I feel it in my hands. So need to keep the blood pumping a little bit, and this slow climb, little meander up to the top of Harrison Stickle should get that blood pumping again. Yeah, like I was saying before, meeting people out here, it's really good, you know, because people just seem to open up straight away, tell you why they're here, last time they were here, and they start to tell you their life's problems and why they come out and do this, which is it's really good. It's really good. I think there's something about being out here that just promotes a little bit of honesty, you know. The first thing we were honest about is how unfit we were, and the guys from America are 50, I think 56, no, they're 56, 60 and 72, and they were all slightly quicker than I was. So what does that tell you? Definitely need to improve my fitness, I think. Bit of a bog fest to navigate. This part of the Langdale Pikes has always been a little bit boggy. You would think the National Trust would sort it out, wouldn't you? You know, all the work they do on the paths, you'd think they'd sort the bog out, but it's been like this for tens of thousands of years. I think it's not going to change, but my feet are still dry. Talking about my feet, one thing I've learned, a valuable lesson already on this first hike, is don't sacrifice safety for comfort. So I've got two pairs of hiking shoes with me, a new pair and a pair of Old Faithfuls. I left the new pair in the van because when I looked at them I knew I hadn't broken them in, and I knew they'd cause me trouble. I knew they'd rub, I knew I'd get blisters, so I went for Old Faithfuls, which are 6 or 7 years old, and although they're comfy, the problem is there's very little tread left, and on a day like today when everything is just a little bit greasy, yeah, it's not good. And I've had a few close calls, shall we say, or if my wife is watching, no close calls at all, whatsoever. So I think from now on I must prioritise my tread over comfort, and in fact I need to take care of comfort. I need to break the shoes in, my new shoes, and make sure that for next time I've got shoes that are comfortable and tread worthy, because if the fell police, if there was such a militia, put a tread gauge on my on the shoes I have on now, yeah, I think they would be illegal. And it only takes a slip or a slide to turn your knee or turn your ankle, and then you're going home by helicopter, and I don't want that, and neither the Langdale Mountain Rescue Team. So, lesson learned by me. And you would think at the age of 50, having done this sporadically for most of the last 35-40 years, you would think I would know better. So, stupid me. Where's the path? It's really hard to keep focused on the path when you've got that to look at. All the way down to Windermere, over to the next valley where you can't see it, but earlier you could see Grasmere and the village, down to Stickle Tarn, down the Langdale Valley. You can see the campsite. I think we can see the van. Is it on fire? No. Well, that's a bonus. Okay, let's push on and get to the top of Harrison Stickle. So we're just coming up to the top of Harrison Stickle, perhaps another 5 or 10 minutes I think. And earlier I said that the ascent to the top of Pavey Ark is the hard work done. Well, Guess that makes me a geographical idiot, doesn't it? Because it wasn't. The books I've read and the videos I've watched all say, yeah, once you've got to the top of Pavey Ark, that's it. You've cracked it. Well, they weren't telling the truth. But we are nearly there. Another 5 or 10 minutes and we will be at the top. Bit technical here. The path is not so obvious, but I think I'm heading for up there. Slidey shoes. This is the bit in the video where Mrs. Beery Hiker will be hiding behind the sofa while simultaneously increasing the level of life insurance for yours truly. She's a good egg like that. And the wind is definitely getting up now. Apologies if you can't hear me because of the wind. I will be getting a microphone soon so I can bore you with greater clarity. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off because I need 2 hands. See you at the top. Okay, made it to the top of Ascent Stickle. It's windy here, you won't be able to hear me, so apologies. But that was okay. So from the top of Pavey Ark to Ascent Stickle, 20 minutes. I think actually I descended too far. I should have stayed on a higher path, then I would have had less to climb back up to the top. So silly me. Great view. Back down the valley. And it's cold up here. Really windy now. But that is definitely the end of the hard work. Technically, we're starting to descend now, so my thoughts are turning to the beer. Okay, that's Pike of Stickle. So 5 minutes, he says, maybe 10 minutes we'll be at the top of that. And that's the last hard work for the day. We start to descend then, and we go past Loft Crag, and then to the pub. Let's get out of this wind. So, I think it's worth mentioning, I'm going to set up a Patreon, which basically means if you want to support the channel and support me doing this, making videos, sharing my exploits on the fells, sharing beer tips, sharing how to sleep in a van unsuccessfully like I did last night. Didn't have a great night's sleep last night. People on the campsite were a little noisy, didn't respect the curfew. But if you want to support the channel, you can do. I'll put the links in the description. It would be useful, but you can join for free. And then I've set up 3 tiers of membership. Okay, the top 2 tiers of membership, a proportion of which will go to a mental health charity. Yet to be decided. That's something I need to think about, but I will post it as soon as that's confirmed. But one of the reasons I'm doing this is to promote men's mental health, getting in touch with nature, because it's worked for me. And in future videos I'll explain my journey. about why I like to do this and what benefits it's brought me. So if you want to support the channel and support men's mental health or mental health in general, I'll be much obliged. But don't feel as though you have to, because you can join the Patreon page for free as well. And if you do become a member, there'll be some free stuff. What that is yet, I'm not quite sure, but I'll make it worth your while, your couple of quid a month, whatever it is. So that's Patreon. I'll put the links below. If you want to support the channel, that would be great. But remember, you don't have to. The main thing you can do is like and subscribe the videos, because that pushes the algorithm, and that means more people watch the videos and I can do more of this. Wouldn't that be nice? Right, enough of that nonsense, let's push on. So that's it, Pike of Stickle done. Time to descend, time to go down, go and find ourselves a pub and a well-earned pint. So that's the Langdale Pikes, climbed, scrambled and sometimes fallen over. Just about to start my descent, which I will do a little bit of filming on that, but it's not that interesting, although with these shoes on I might slip over, so there might be some jeopardy, so I will film a bit. But I just thought I'd reflect on the last few hours and what I've learned. I think the first thing is my fitness is atrocious. I need to be fitter. Certainly my aerobic fitness is not where it should be. I'm working from home, working behind a desk, not being active enough. It really shows, and I have to do something about that. But to be honest, I think I knew that before I put my boots on this morning. Secondly, about the boots, I need to wear newer boots with more tread. I've had a couple of slips, and 5 minutes ago I genuinely nearly turned my ankle because stupidly I stepped off the path onto a bit of soft ground and my ankle just gave way. My fault. If there's a path there, use it, don't step off it. So that's another thing I've learned. The other thing I've learned is meeting people out here is fantastic. It's really good to talk to people. Obviously some people don't want to talk, which is fine, but when you meet people who want to talk, it just makes the day go that little bit quicker and takes the pain away as well, especially when you're ascending like I was earlier. So that was good. But the final thing is, this is the first hike I've done with any ascent this year. It's reminded me why I do this, because I absolutely love it. It's hard work, but the payoff is unbelievable. My mind is clear, I'm totally relaxed. Okay, my lungs aren't relaxed, my lungs are like crisp packets, but I just feel great. It's going to be even better when I get down to the pub and have a beer. So the plan is, we're going to go down and we're going to go to the old Dungeon Ghyll, which is one of the last few remaining genuine walkers and hikers bars in the lakes. It's very rustic, which you'll see when we get in there. And what I plan to do is just ask the barkeep which beer he suggests, and we'll take that one and we'll do a quick review before I down it in a one. And then I've got another 2 kilometres to walk back to the van. So I'll see you on the way down. So we're finally down, but change of plan because I took the wrong route. We are at the new Dungeon Ghyll. Fear not, the old Dungeon Ghyll will be on the channel really soon because it's my favourite place to go. So let's go and get a pint. Hi mate.
No, thank you.
Pint of Swan Blonde please. Cheers mate. Well, that's it guys, I'm at the new Dungeon Ghyll. That's the Langdale Pikes done. Really enjoyed that. I've just got a pint of Swan Blonde. £6.20. £6.20. It's London prices, mate. London. But it's a hoppy IPA, just the way I like it. And I'll put a link to the description so you can try it yourself. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Remember, hike responsibly and drink responsibly. See you soon on the fells.